Hey guys, what's up? Shin0525 here, back with another drawing video. Today's video is going to be on Fish Luca from the movie Luca. I've actually seen that movie, it's pretty good. And this video was requested by Ashweth Football, ASHWATH Football. Thank you so much for your request. I hope I pronounced your name right. I probably didn't. But yeah, we're drawing Fish Luca today. I believe I have another Luca video on the channel already. If you're interested in watching that, it's probably on the playlist. But I think I drew him in his human form, and today we're going to be drawing him in his fish form. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So get your pencils ready, and let's jump in. Alright guys, so here we go. So we're going to keep the paper landscape for this one, just because he's more left and right than up and down. So we're going to keep the paper landscape. And what we're going to start off with doing is just drawing a nice, decent sized circle. This is going to be his head. And then what you want to do is kind of get like the line of action here. And it's going to be this big swoop. And it's going to be like the line for his body that goes through his tail. And then here we're going to get kind of like a little oval for his chest. And it's going to kind of go inwards in like a tube type shape. Then we're going to get one arm and then another arm, or shoulders really. And this arm's just going to go over and out, and we're going to get his hand right about here. This one just kind of going to go straight out, and we're going to get a hand right about there. And now here we're going to have kind of his pants, so it's going to be one oval for this leg, another oval for this leg, and this leg's going to go down and kind of over and into like the foot here. This one's just going to go down and over into the foot about there. And that's pretty much it for the gesture that we need. That's enough to kind of mark out where everything needs to go. So we're going to jump into his head here. And for his head, what we can do is draw some crosshairs. They look something like this. And what I like to start out doing is just drawing his eyes. So his eyes are going to be these nice big ovals. So we're going to get one here and one right about here. Like that. And we're actually going to just jump into drawing his eyes here. So this eye, what we're going to do is basically just kind of follow the oval that we have here. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. Like this. You can make this top part a little bit thicker too. So just make that a little bit thicker, just like that. And then once you have that down, I'm just clean it up just a little bit. Once you have that down, what you could do is draw a nice kind of little half circle right here with a little circle like that right in the middle, and then just kind of like a bigger kind of half circle right here, and you could shade this in for his eye. And then we're pretty much going to do the same thing just on this eye. So we're going to just follow the oval that we have here, keep it nice and round like that. We can make the top a little bit thicker than the bottom, like that. And then this one's going to be right on the side there. And we're going to get that little circle and then shade the middle part in like that. And now that we have that done, we could draw in his nose. So his nose is just this nice little curve line right in between his eyes there. And then you're just going to get two little dots here and here right under it for his nostrils. And then we could get in his smile. So his smile's pretty easy. It's this nice kind of curve line like this. And it rounds off at the end there and goes down to kind of like this big U shape like that. And now for his teeth, they're just kind of like these little bumps that go down. So you get like about 4 of them going across, and you get his tongue, which is just a curve line, and you could shade like the inside of his mouth black. Like that. So now that we got that done, we can go into his head shape. And his head shape's not too bad, but it goes straight off this eye. So what you're going to want to do is draw a line kind of dipping in a little bit, so curving towards the head, and then kind of immediately curves out and around where his cheek is, right about here. And then we're going to get to like his neck here, which is just going to be this line that curves down and then in like this. And now for his, we'll finish off his neck by drawing a little curve line right about here. And then it's gonna just kind of follow this shape that we have here. So it's gonna just bump out, kind of go over about there like that. And now I'm gonna draw this in very lightly. We're not gonna draw hard. I'm just gonna get the head shape a little bit better. So just be around like that. And then just kind of connect into this spot right there and keep it very light. But before we jump into his head, we're going to draw like his face fins or whatever he has right here. So they're actually pretty simple. What you're going to do is draw a nice little curve line curving out like this. Another one that curves out like this. So you get two little curves. And then you're going to have a bump here like that. So you get like kind of like an upside down V almost. And then a line going straight through the middle. So there's one. He'd actually have one on this side too, which would just be a curve line going out here and here, and then you get that kind of V shape and a line going down the middle like that. And this line would connect into that line there. And now we could draw in his hair. His hair is a little kind of crazy. It's just kind of like these series of kind of like bumps kind of going around. It's hard to explain, but basically all you need to do is we'll start off with this line that curves up and over, and we're going to stop it right about there. And then basically what you want to do is draw a curve line going up, over, and then kind of down like that. And we'll start about here, go up, over. They're kind of like squared off too, but not like a sharp square. They have very rounded edges. Then it's going to go up. Start here, go up, over, down. This one will go into like a bigger one, over, and then down like that. And then another one. And then we'll have some here. And you kind of want to stagger them too. You don't want them all coming out of the same spot. You kind of want some being taller, some being smaller. And then get another one about here. And I think you get two little kind of bumps around there as well. Maybe add like another one there like that. And then one over here kind of connecting. So as long as you have a shape that looks similar to this, you should be pretty good. Again, there's no like super defined way on how to do it. So as long as you have a shape that looks something consistent with this, it should be okay. I'm going to erase some of it, or erase the guidelines, because we're going to draw a little bit more detail in here. I'm just going to clean it up. There we go. And now all you want to do is on some of these just kind of add like 2 to 3 lines like that, because he has kind of like coralish type hair, I think, or like thin type hair. So you just want to kind of draw some like groove lines on there like that. And then he has like kind of like a little bunch of grooves like on his forehead right here. So draw that in. You draw 2 lines that kind of hug the eyebrow, or like the eyes there like that. And then you just kind of get like these bumpy kind of like forehead lines here. Like that. So that's pretty much how you draw his head, which is probably the hardest part. So if you're able to get his head down, good job. You probably did the hardest part about it. So now we're going to just jump into his body here. And this is pretty much good for his kind of arm. So we're just going to go straight into it. So we're going to start about here and draw a line going across like this. It's going to taper down, kind of over, and then into the wrist here like that. And then from the wrist, we're going to go out and then just kind of curve up. Oh, excuse me. I just got like a tickle in the back of my throat. Oh, okay. So we're good. So you're just going to draw a line going across and then down. And now here we're going to draw kind of like into his chest and stomach area. And we're going to do that with a single line. So we're going to start right about here. And just draw a line going down, kind of over, and then it's going to curve in right about here. And then we're just going to draw a nice curve line going across like that. God, that like tickle just screwed up my voice. Okay, now that we have this down, we could draw in like this side of his body, which is pretty much this. So you're going to draw a line going up, and then just kind of curve in right about there, like that. And you get a little curve line right here for like where his chest is. And now before we like start finishing off drawing that, we're going to draw his hand here, which is pretty simple. You can basically just draw an oval for the thumb, and then like the fingers kind of go out here like this. But now we're going to go into detail, and it's going to go right off the wrist here. It's going to go up. You get kind of like a thumb shape. Go down and in like that. And it's going to go directly into this finger, which is just a line going up and then over like this. And then this finger goes up and over. And then he has one more right here. It's going to go up, over, and then into the wrist. Like that. And he has webbed fingers, so you can draw a little curve line here and a little one there, just to show that. Because again, he is a fish person. So now that's done. We'll jump into his, and let's draw his other arm. Let's jump into that. So we're going to start right here, and basically just draw a line going across like this. When we get to like the shoulder right here, it's going to taper down just slightly. And then the elbow is going to be right here. And when you get to the elbow, it's just going to bump up a little bit. And then go down. And then here it's going to start right at the end of this line and just kind of go out. Kind of curve in where the elbow is. Curve out slightly before going back in. Like that. And now this hand, the thumb's going to be on this side, and like the rest of the hand's kind of going to go out here like this. And very similar, we're just going to start off from the wrist, kind of draw a line bumping out, and then curving in for the thumb. And then the hand here is just going to go over. You're going to get kind of like a loop here, or like a little hook. And off that hook, you're going to draw a line going, extending out just a little bit more. And then one right here for the pinky, and it's going to go into the other line right there. So there's that hand. And now we could jump into his pants. So what you're going to do is get like a line that goes around here, like for his waistband. And you basically just make it like this little like kind of jagged shape like that. So it's all scruffy and like cut up. And now here what you're going to do is basically follow these kind of ovals that we have here. Like that. So there's our like pants shape. But what you want to do is very similar to this. Is kind of just draw a line going out. And give it like a little bit of like ruffles. Because again, I think it's made of like seaweed or something. Because again, he is a fish person. So you just kind of want to make it like a little jagged. Some areas, you don't want like a nice smooth shape. And then kind of the same thing on this side. So it's going to curve in. Here, bump out a little bit. Like that. And then you could add a couple little kind of like curve lines like this. Just to show it's not like, it's kind of like made out of seaweed or something. It's not like a smooth fabric. But something like that. Simple enough. Now we're going to draw in his legs. So his legs are actually very similar to his arm. It's going to go down here. His knee's going to be about here. And then he'll go into his foot. So I'm just going to go straight into the shape here. So we're just going to go down. And when it gets to the knee, it's going to bend. And just kind of curve down like this. Then we get to the foot, it's going to curve out. Kind of go into like this foot shape here. It's going to go down, over. I'm going to draw this lighter because it's just kind of like the gesture. And it's going to curve in here like for the heel. And then we'll start here and draw a line going down. When we hit the knee, it's going to bend over. We're going to get a little bit of a bump for his like calf muscle before connecting into the heel there. And then here, what we're going to do is just draw a little bump here and one about here. Make this one slightly smaller than this one. And I'll actually erase some guidelines here so it's nice and clear. So it's going to go down and bump, and we're going to get a big bump and then a slightly smaller bump as it goes into the foot shape. And then you're going to get a nice little kind of curve line right here for like some fin. And you could probably draw like two lines there. Also, there'd be another fin kind of on his elbow here. So just go up and then down like that, and you probably get like 2 lines on there like that. And now we're going to draw this leg, which this leg is pretty much like this one, just kind of more straight. So the knee's going to be about here, and then I'll go down, and then the foot's going to be kind of around there. So I'm just going to jump into it. So we're going to go down. When you hit the knee, it kind of tapers down a little bit, just slightly. It's almost pretty much a straight line. And then we're going to go down. I'm going to kind of gesture in the foot shape here as it goes up. Kind of curves into the heel. And then here, it's just going to go out. Kind of have like a little bump where the knee is, and then you get the calf, and then you're into the foot. Like that. And then again, we're going to get those 3 bumps. There, like that. Then we'll get a little fin action here. 2 lines. Yeah, let's put 3 lines on that one. Alright, and now, oh, and also for the knees, if you want to, I'll erase these little circle joints that we have. You could put like a little curve line just to indicate a knee, where the knees are. So just a little curve line like that. And now for the tail, it's pretty much, we're going to start right at the end of the pants here. And it's going to go into like this big kind of spike almost. Actually, that's a little thick. Like that. I'll erase some of this. So it gets thinner as it goes out, but then it gets thicker as it like comes towards the body. And now here what we're going to do is like we're going to have this shape but just much bigger. So it's going to start right about here and just curve over, and you're going to get like a wave to it. And then in like that. And then there's going to be another little one that goes to the tip of the tail like that. And then here what you're going to want to do is like how we drew the little curve lines. You're going to draw some curve lines, but they're going to like follow the curve of the shape that we have. And you get a couple little lines here too. But that's pretty much how you draw fish, Luca, from the movie Luca. Yeah, not very hard. It might be a little hard, especially if you're like drawing like little subtleties in the arms, like where they bump out slightly, and then that might be a little difficult, but overall, I think we're looking at a picture of it. It shouldn't be too bad. So anyway, guys, I will put the sketch that we just did up here. Stay. And I'll put the inked version I did beforehand up there as well. And yeah, that's pretty much how you draw fish, Luca. Thank you. Whoop. Thank you again for the request, Ashwith, football. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Well, this one's just not going to stay up. You can kind of see it if it's over here like that. There we go. So, thank you again for the request. If you guys have requests, I do take them. All you need to do is leave what you want me to draw in the comment section below. And then, hopefully it'll show up one of these Sundays when I actually make a drawing video. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Okay, thanks, bye. Oh, they all fall. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.